we stand for the pledge? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mrs. Cat? Here. Mr. Stevens?
Here.
Mr. White?
Here.
Mrs. Desarian?
Here.
Mrs. Marsmaker? Here. Mr. Hitchcock?
Here.
Okay. Tonight for the work participation program, we have Shabona's inaugural team of cross country. Just for the record, in 1978, I was a member of the Shabana cross country team. Okay, so it's been around for a little while. Mr. Galanowski was my coach for Shabana cross country. And then I don't know when it went away, but 2015 came back. Mrs. Bo, if you'd like to talk a little bit about cross country, and if you could introduce our two participants that are here tonight. Great, thank you.
All right, Miss Cinto couldn't be here tonight. She has class, so she wanted me to share some highlights on the season and some personal records of the two that couldn't be with us here tonight. She wanted me to tell you that they started their season with 4 6th graders and 3 7th graders. The 6th graders ran a 1-mile race at the beginning of the year and then raced 2 miles at the end of the year. The 7th graders raced 2 miles throughout the whole season. They saw some amazing personal records, and she said it was a great season that ended with 5 of 6 PRs at their last meet, which was sectionals in Yorkville. They had a great year, and she's really proud of all of her athletes. Tonight, we have a 7th grader, Abby Cunningham. She started the season running a 16:49 2-mile and finished with a 14:43 2-mile. And then we have right behind her, we have 6th grader, Ethan Morrissey, who started running a 10:18 1-mile, and he finished the season with an 18:32 2-mile. And I would like to say specifically, Ms. Cinto did an amazing job, just not only with the athletes, but just organizing all of the meets. We had a lot of help from the high school cross-country program as well, so it's been really nice to get that started, and it's been real easy with the help of Ms. Cinto in high school. And thank you to the parents and your support and the athletes. Congratulations. Thank you. Come up. There's one. Come on up. Victoria.
Just, Abby was in Girls on the Run with Miss Cinto, and what grade were you in Girls on the Run? Abby? Like 5th grade, 4th grade, and 5th grade? And even, I know you did the boys running club last year. All right, anyway, awesome. All right. Then we have
Certificates. Saying thank you for coming and excellent job.
I'm gonna get a picture of Mr. Bo, Mr. White.
No, Mrs. Bo was here on the phone.
I know. Okay. One hold and stick it up.
Right side, upside down.
All right, 1, 2. All right, I got it. Oh, wait, Mom, I don't want you guys to make a picture.
He's furthering her education, I'm sure. We expect this on Facebook later.
Yeah. I can send it to you too. Probably see that. Oh, no. All right, good job, guys. Thanks for coming. Thank you.
Okay, have a motion to approve the revised agenda. We don't have one? Need a motion to approve the consent agenda, which includes minutes. Meeting minutes of the following meetings. On August 17th, 2015, full session. September 21st, 2015, regular meeting. 3, October 6th, 2015, committee of the whole. B, the September 2015 treasury report as presented. C, the September 2015 financial report as presented, including financial summary and the financial report. D, payroll and non $476,188.12. E, bills and prepaid bills payable in the amount of $2,451,787.61. Bills and prepaid bills, credit cards. F, to transfer of funds when necessary. G, minutes of financials of BBC. H, minutes and financials of the PTO. And I, financials of the student for funds and accounts.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion on any of these?
Wait, Mr. Second first? First? Mrs. Cap?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mrs. Dorian?
Yes.
Mrs. Marshmaker?
Yes.
Mr. Hitchcock?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnston? This is for the consent agenda.
Okay, thank you, yes.
Okay, committee reports, technology feedback,
Nothing of action tonight.
finance, Mr. Stevens. Okay, I wasn't there. Moving on, educational services, discuss. Policy, Mrs. Cat.
We had first readings of several different policies. They're listed underneath the action items for approval of those first readings. And we had a 5-year review of 2 policies. And 1 new policy added.
PR,
We had our meetings, October 5th, 6th, October 6th, with our new committee of both schools, PR as a whole. There were quite a few in attendance. It was great to get a little rundown on how the year was going and what was happening, and it was decided we were going to continue the monthly reports. That's why we had cross-country tonight, and the next month through December is already booked for board participation from the students. So we meet again November 2nd, right before, at 3:45, before committee of the whole. Did you want to add anything, Sandy? She's the co-chairman of the committee.
Sounds like you covered it pretty good.
administrative reports.
Okay. We didn't have any FOIA requests this month. On the legislative updates, Springfield is back in session. No action items out of Springfield. The only budget that's been passed out of Springfield is the education budget. The only, division out of Springfield that has any money right now is the state board. If they have money for schools, they don't really have money for procurement. My understanding is they're using like letterhead, people have to bring their own paper and toilet paper, and that they just, there's no money released for procurement from the state board. So really, a lot of what's going on down in Springfield is the budget stalemate between Rauner and Madigan, and what that's gonna look like, we don't know. I mean, there's some things in the turnaround agenda that Governor Rauner really wants. It's probably the biggest trending item, and the item that's gonna have the biggest impact, gee, there's so many that are gonna impact, but the property tax extension limitation law, it's called PTEL, which puts not even a tax cap on us, but it puts a property tax freeze. And so with property tax freeze, it's all about dollar amounts that you can levy for, rather than how much you can levy for or tax rate. And right now, we levy, a couple people have been through the levy process. And so the levy process, you have all of these different funds, like your ed fund, O&M fund, transportation fund, working cash. Those are your operating funds, those 4. And then you've got your other funds, your life safety, if you haven't been before, capital projects we don't levy for, we don't have anything for. So we levy for those, and then we levy for dollar amounts for bond and interest. So we have all of these funds we levy for. Under the PTEL with the tax cap, what happens is now you have 2 only ways that you're gonna be levying. You're gonna levy for a total dollar amount in your aggregate working funds, your operating funds, and then your debt extension limit. So you've got your debt extension limit and then your operating funds. So you, instead of having all of these funds you're levying for, now you only have two, if it passes. And if it passes, what they could potentially do is freeze FY 15. Next month at committee of the whole, a big topic of that conversation is gonna be what your tax levy looks like for your 15 tax levy, which funds your school year 17. Not the one we're in, but the next school year, and the levy happens in December, so you have to file that. So we'll work on the levy in November, and it's gonna be, you know, part of the conversation with the levy for 15 is gonna be writing that levy in preparation for what happens if PTEL passes. What happened in 91, 92 when PTEL passed in 30 other counties was they went back a year and grabbed that levy and froze that one. Rather than saying pass the law in January, February for that December, they went backwards. And one of the questions that I heard asked is what happens if they know, since this happened in 91, 92, so instead of grabbing the FY 15 levy, they may go back and grab FY 14. Because the conversation wasn't being had before 15 had come in. So how the levy for 15 is structured is probably going to look a little different than it's looked for the last 5 or 6 years, with the anticipation that this PTEL property tax freeze actually happens. There's a lot of grassroots movement to freeze property taxes. And the different financial consultants that I've been around, Stifel, down at the Forecast 5, PMA, have all seemed very, thought that it was going to pass. They felt that the environment in Illinois was very right to pass the property tax freeze. It's something that Governor Romney really wants, and there's movement toward that property tax freeze. So you got property tax freeze, which is going to limit our ability to generate revenue. And then on top of that, the next issue is going to be pension reform. So pension reform and the cost shift of pension reform, now you have a limited revenue to try to fund everything you have with increasing expenses, and then throw cost shift on top of it. And so there's kind of a double whammy with property tax freeze and then the pension cost shift. So those are two of the big topics that are happening down in Springfield right now. So we do know that we got our budget, our education budget we got funded at the same level as last year. The level's the same, the foundation level's the same, proration's a little higher, it's at 89% or 92%, so that's good for us, and that's reflected in our budget. But at the same point in time, it's still something that's been frozen at 6119 for way too long. And I guess that's another part of the Vision 2020 with the Illinois Balanced Accountability Measure just passing, the general state aid formula, which is how we get a third of our income is being talked about being rewritten. So you've got property tax freeze, cost shift, and then the general state aid foundation formula being rewritten. So those three things all coming down the pipe probably in the next 6 to 8 months. So that's news from Springfield, and it's a little bit of finance. And then as far as finance goes, we'll be looking at the levy with a little bit of a different view in November.
What was the last time you said they that freeze?
Detail
93?
freeze?
Yeah.
I think the first, you know what, I've got it right here, Jim, in a presentation if you'd like to take a
Oh,
look
yeah,
at it.
great.
I
Thank you.
believe it was 1991. There's a lot of,
Thank
some of my handwritten notes on the side there. Any other questions on that? The action items, Mrs. Cap talked about the action items, just policy tonight. And then III conference, the people that are going to the III board policy said that you can have an advance on expenses, so checks are at your seats. Just grab a reimbursement form, fill out your expenses, and anything that's left over, just turn that into the deal. And you guys both got your registrations, and I sent an email email from the IASB for that 7-digit number.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No big deal.
I just never heard that from America, so I didn't send that one.
Typical state.
Yeah, anyway, okay. So, Mr. Meyer is at the IPA conference today. He goes in, that's it on my report. Any questions?
The only thing that I wanted to report out is that Matt Wilhelm will be here on Wednesday, October 21st, to do a show for our 3rd through 8th graders. Matt Wilhelm is a speaker that talks about bullying, perseverance, and character. We're doing this in conjunction with October National Bullying Prevention Month. We are asking that all students and all staff in all grades wear blue to support national bullying prevention. And if you guys have a chance, come check it out. It'll be at Shabona's Big Gym at 8:30 and the Bain Gym at White Oak at 9:45.
What date?
It's October 21st, grades 3 through 8. And then Matt's also been featured on America's Got Talent. He's an X Games medalist, and he kind of weaves, I think he's been here before, honestly, BMX, bike, and talking about character, bullying, and perseverance. So those are the 3 things we'll target with our 3rd through 8th graders on Wednesday. Very excited to have an opportunity like this for kids. Nothing further? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I can talk about that. No. I don't know. I'm like, I just don't want to say anything that's identifiable.
Yes, we've been kind of busy the last couple days, especially in October. On Thursday, October 15th, we had our 2nd grade concert. It featured many tunes from movies. Disney seemed to be highlighted a lot. And the kids did an awesome job for that. And Miss Fallon, she's doing an amazing job. We also had our Kiwanis early literacy event. We read Creepy Carrots to the students. They went into the K1 classrooms, Kiwani members did. And then on Friday, we had a clothesline across campus. And again, the amount of clothes we get to help people in need is amazing. We had all the lines were filled. I had to take off a lot of clothes and put them in bags just so we could get the rest of the clothes on. I bet you we had probably like 20 bags, maybe something like that, of those huge garbage bags. And then those clothes will be available to anyone in need during the parent conference times. We'll set up tables. It's kind of like a rummage sale, free rummage sale, and they'll go around and get that. And I wanted to thank the 5th grade students and teachers for going out and getting the clothes off the lines for us and bagging them up and getting them inside so that we can start to fold them and get those ready. And then just 2 reminders, we have the Big Boo Review coming up. That's on October 30th at 9 a.m. That'll be in the library. That's really fun to watch. We have 2 1st grade classes that do that every year, Mrs. McDonald and Mrs. Ward students. And then, of course, our favorite, the Halloween parade, and that'll be at 10 a.m. That's all I have.
Is there gonna be, are you guys doing trunk and treat this year? No,
I haven't heard anything about
I
that.
have not either.
I haven't heard
I
anything
had
about that.
questions about that, but
Mhm.
when will you
Trunk or
know?
treat is sponsored by PTO. I can send an email.
Usually PTO takes care of that. I haven't heard anything.
Okay, no, I haven't heard anything.
Thank you. Don't really have a whole lot to report. I would like to kind of piggyback on what Mr. P said about the clothesline across campus. The Chabon was very well represented. We filled kind of a football stadium with clothes all the way around, and we bag all those up and bring them over to White Oak as well, so that anybody can come over here for that. And again, just amazed at how much stuff the kids and the families are willing to donate for people in need. October 7th, we had a fire drill unannounced to the students in conjunction with Morris Fire Department, and the lieutenant, the chief was not able to make it, that was here that day, was super impressed. He said we were about 30 seconds below the time that they had expected us to be able to get out of the building. In under, we were actually able, everybody was able to be clear in under a minute of the building, so they were extremely happy and very proud of the students and faculty. So thanks to the faculty for making sure the kids were prepared for that. At the very end of September, our Shab Honor Society and Mr. Masgay went down to Coal City to do some tornado relief. They were there from like 9 to 2:30, just helping our neighbors from Coal City still in that cleanup effort, because there's still a lot to be done. And everyone's favorite Corn Fest parade, our marching Braves were represented, and they actually were able to secure the top award in their division. So that was great to see from them, because I know Mrs. Keelan just got married and has been putting in a lot of time with those kids, and in the middle of her getting married, I think a week after that competition. So that was great to see as well. I think that's it.
For athletics, we have boys basketball season actually started today. For the 7th and 8th grade boys had tryouts this morning, 6th grade boys had tryouts this afternoon, and then tomorrow in the afternoon. So looking forward to filling up those teams and having a successful season. Wrestling coach, we are still in need of one at Chevron. We do not have that vacancy filled yet. So if anyone was interested, they can contact me or Mr. Meyer in regards to that position. BBC, we're going to host our Halloween dance this coming Friday, 3 to 5 after school. Tickets are going to go on sale on Wednesday at lunch for $2 and then $3 at the door. Concessions will be available for the students. PBIS, students are working towards their goal this trimester of being prepared, not necessarily trimester, but this time, being prepared for class. They are currently meeting at 80% and on their way to achieving their home awards dodgeball celebration, which is scheduled for the 30th of October at 2 p.m. Another thing, if you want to come out and see that, that's pretty intense, because it's the homeroom, the different homerooms, and they dress up, and it's really a fun time for all of the kids. So if you're available that afternoon, come on to Chevron and check that out. I think it was featured in the Morris Daily Herald last year. So it's popular to do it again this year. Hopefully, if they keep on that goal. Fundraising, most of you know we did a cookie dough fundraiser to help offset the 8th grade field trip cost that was ended. Cookie dough is going to be picked up on Wednesday. I don't know exactly how good each student has done, but the person who came from the company to collect everything said, for as big of a school we have and the way the economy is right now, she was pretty impressed with, the sale that we went with, and had about 70 or 80 total kids that represented Chevron and sold cookie dough to offset their 8th grade trip. And then I went ahead and just included our White Oak and Chevron discipline reports off the Swiss. So we're listed in their board report. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Action items. We got the following action items. Motion to approve the following policies for first reading. Board attorney, exhibit checklist for selecting a board attorney, uniform grievance procedure, payment procedure, drug and alcohol-free workplace, tobacco prohibition, copyright, employment at will, compensation and assignment, employment termination and suspensions, equal educational opportunities, non-public school students, including parochial and homeschool students, bus conduct, exemption from physical activity, restrictions on publication, student fundraising activities, connection with community gifts to the district.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. B, motion to approve the following policies for a 5-year review, first reading, education of homeless children, and release during school hours.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Carries. Any communications to the Board of Education. Please order such minor for administrator. Have a motion to adjourn to closed session for discussion of the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged with an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body for determining its validity. Minutes of meetings lawfully closed under this act, whether for purposes of approval by the body for minutes or semi-annual review of minutes mandated. That's it. 26. Roll call vote.
Mrs. Cap?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
Mr. White? Mrs. Zerian?
Yes.
Mrs. Marshmaker?
Yes.
Mr. Hitchcock?
Yes.